This podcast contains graphic content. Listener caution is recommended. Specifically, today's episode of Choosing the Bear contains themes and discussion of racism and murder. Hello, welcome to Choosing the Bear, a true crime podcast. My name is Lois, and with me is my co-host / brother Daniel. Today's episode is on the murder of Stephen Lawrence. So Daniel, happy Thursday. Happy
Thursday. It is Thursday. It's a different day. We normally record on Fridays, but not today. No, today we're doing a Thursday recording.
I know, we're switching things up.
I don't like it. The routine has well and truly gone, and I feel sick.
I mean, we never really did have a routine.
But we were starting one. The Fridays were becoming a regular thing.
Was it?
Like the last 3 have been Fridays.
Oh. I mean, all my days just morph into one.
That's really sad.
I know.
Got nothing different about your life.
I feel like this week, I've just wanted this week to be over. And I really shouldn't be, wasting my life away, even though the job I'm doing is just that. But, I really shouldn't. But I just want a good night's sleep. I just want to lie in past 6 o'clock.
Jesus Christ. What a way to start off an episode.
I'm just so tired.
Jesus. I just want a good night's sleep.
But, what do? We get up and we carry on and we graft.
You graft. I'm the opposite. I'm such an early bird now. This new job, this routine, say new job, been in it for a month now, but this routine is just, I love it. I mean, it makes me really tired at night. By 10:30, my eyes are watering because I'm that tired.
Oh, really?
I think I need to go to the doctors, not the opticians, but my eyes, because I generally have tears streaming. Yeah, I don't know why. It's a bit weird.
Glasses are not cheap, but cheaper than what I thought. I got mine done probably 3 months ago, and it was only £45 for the glasses and the lenses. And I read all the way down to the bottom line. My optician was absolutely buzzing.
Absolutely beside themselves. They couldn't believe their eyes.
No, seriously.
They went and got tested.
Love that. Me and my boyfriend watched last episode I was saying how I had so many things to watch, and everything's just been put on the back burner because we started One Piece, the real life version, not the anime, and oh my god, it was actually so good. It's so different to what we would normally watch. Yeah, no, when you said that I was about to say his name, you and him were watching One Piece, I was like, why? That's neither of you seem to like that sort of thing. No, I don't know. I mean, he just seen it and was like, let's watch this, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. And now he's obsessed and he wants to watch all Pirates of the Caribbean. So once we've recorded this, we're going to watch Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah.
Curse of the Black Pearl.
And they're coming out with One Piece Lego, and he was looking at merch as well, like t-shirts.
Do you think this is a current hyperfixation?
Yes.
Think in a few months' time this will be gone, yeah.
Oh yeah. A few months' time, that's been a bit generous. Give it a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks and it'll be off it. Oh, well.
So what have you been watching and enjoying?
It's really quite boring. I mean, actually, no. Me and my girlfriend, we've been watching Line of Duty, which is quite good. We just finished season 3 the other night, and what a finale! What
is that the one on BBC?
It is, Lois, yes. We're watching that and also watching Inside Number 9. That's where we have dinner. But myself, I'm just doing Star Wars. I've locked myself into watching every Star Wars film and series in chronological order because I've never done it before. I'm currently on Andor. That means nothing to you, but people who do know Star Wars, if there are anyone watching or listening. Currently on Andor. Everyone loves it. I don't, personally. I'm a bit fucking bored.
Is it a film or series?
Series. I'm on episode 7. And I'm really, really bored.
It's tough soldiering on, isn't it, when you're watching a shit TV show, but it's got to be done.
I don't know why you're saying this, because you keep saying, I'm liking it a lot, I like it now. So I'm not even going to entertain, and everyone knows at this point what we're on about. There's no secret.
Season 2, I am struggling. I mean, the past few days I haven't been able to watch Daredevil because I've been watching One Piece, but...
Obsessed with One Piece, can't get enough of it.
I'm just not looking forward to going back.
You need to.
I know, but I don't really want to.
No, I was looking into buying the helmet the other day.
What helmet?
The Daredevil helmet. You can get it
What?
from the Disney store in America for $80. But obviously in the UK, that's not possible. So people are selling it online for 120 quid. And I thought, oh, a bit steep. With £67 postage. So you best believe I press buy.
Why? Is that being shipped from the UK?
If it's from the Disney store in the US, why would it be shipped from the UK?
Yeah, but you said people are reselling it for 110.
Yeah, on eBay. That was, I didn't buy it. Are you mad?
No, but you said people are reselling it on eBay for that much with £67 postage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the people on eBay are reselling it for £67.
I don't know. I didn't.
Oh god, it's all in numbers.
I don't care. I didn't ask them. I looked at it and went, "Fucking hell, that's insane."
So where? Oh right, so the postage was the price from the Disney store.
I don't know. I didn't go any further. I looked at it.
You
and
just said
went,
£67 postage.
yeah, but I didn't then go in right. So, man, why is it 67 quid? What's that about? I saw it and went, "Fuck that," and then
Yes,
just assumed there'd be one in the UK at some point.
On the Disney store or on eBay?
eBay.
Okay, I'm glad we cleared that up.
All right. I'm just hoping for one in the UK. Then I might buy one because it looks sick, and I think I could shave my beard down and then I could have the Daredevil stubble.
It's actually wearable.
No, it's for your feet. What do you think? God's sake.
Well, there's Disney stores in England.
Yeah, but it's not in the England ones.
Oh, right.
I've looked. Do you not think I have?
So you've got yourself in a bit of a pickle.
Not really, because it's not, it doesn't really matter.
Wow. In whose eyes?
I'm going to sit with that. That's a pretty good question, actually. I'm going to sit and really stew that one over.
Oh, no. How will we live?
Anyway.
All right. Anywho, do you recognise the name Stephen Lawrence?
No, I don't think so. I mean, again, it might be similar to once before where midway through I'm like, oh shit, I do know this one, but face value, no, I do not.
Okay, well, let's begin. Stephen Lawrence was born on the 13th of September 1974 in Greenwich District Hospital, London. At the time of his birth, Stephen's father, Neville Lawrence, was a carpenter and his mother, Doreen, was a special needs teacher. Stephen was the oldest of their children. His brother Stuart was born in 1976 and his sister Georgina was born in 1982. The family lived in Plumstead, South East London. Stephen's parents had immigrated to the UK from Jamaica in the 1960s. Stephen was enrolled at Blackheath Bluecoat Church of England School. God, that is a long school name, isn't it?
Blackheath Church of England School.
No, Blackheath Bluecoat.
Blackheath Bluecoat Church of England School. Yeah.
Got it down. Long, innit? And had aspirations of becoming an architect. At school, Stephen studied technology, physics and English language. He excelled in running and was a team member for Cambridge Harriers Athletics Club and was preparing for his A-levels. I don't know why I'm stumbling so much on words today.
Just take a second, just chill.
And on the 22nd of April 1993, Stephen had spent the day at his school studying for his A-levels. One of his teachers, Bob Henderson, remembered Stephen being an enthusiastic student. Once he'd finished for the day, he went to a few shops in Lewisham and then caught the bus to his uncle's house in Grove Park. Lawrence then met his friend Dwayne Brooks. They had spent some time together and began to head home at around 10 p.m. The first available bus would have gotten them home too late. Instead, the pair decided to go to another bus stop on Wildhall Road. Stephen and Dwayne arrived at the bus stop at 10:25 p.m. Stephen walked down the road to the junction of Dixon Road to see if he could see the bus, while Dwayne waited at the bus stop. Approaching, he could see a group of 6 white youths. They were initially on the opposite side of the road and were heading towards Dwayne. At 10:38 p.m, Dwayne shouted up to Stephen to see if he could see the bus. The group of youths heard Dwayne and began shouting racial slurs. Within seconds, the group crossed the road and, quote, engulfed Stephen. He was forced to the ground and was stabbed by one or more of the group members. At this time, Dwayne was a short distance away and he turned and called out to Stephen, telling him to run. His stab wounds were about 5 inches or 13 centimetres on both sides on the front of his body, the right collarbone and his left shoulder. Both of these stab wounds severed Stephen's auxiliary arteries before penetrating his lung. Due to his artery being severed, Stephen lost feeling in his right arm and was suffering from breathing difficulties, bleeding severely from the stab wounds. The group of attackers fled the scene down Dixon Road. Dwayne was running towards Shooter's Hill. Despite his injuries and condition, this actually makes me want to bawl my eyes out. Despite his injuries and condition, Stephen got up and began running, following Dwayne. Stephen was able to run over 100 yards whilst bleeding from his severed arteries. Dr. Shepherd, the pathologist, said, quote, "It is a testimony to Stephen's physical fitness that he was able to run the distance he did before collapsing."
That's insane.
So he literally had 5-inch or 13 centimetre long stab wounds.
And he was still moving.
Yeah, able to...
But not just moving, like, yeah.
Running. Jog 100 yards. Dwayne called an ambulance and an off-duty police officer stopped and covered Stephen with a blanket. At the scene of the stabbing, there wasn't mass amounts of blood on the pavement as Stephen was wearing 5 layers of clothing. However, in the place where he collapsed, witnesses recall a substantial amount of blood. Stephen was placed into the recovery position and was taken to Brook General Hospital. However, by 11:05 p.m, Stephen was pronounced dead. So, just stabbed in a completely unprovoked racial attack. I was going to say,
there's no sort of motive there besides the racism, obviously, but like...
Yeah.
Christ.
Just a racist...
Scum.
3 people witnessed the attack and gave statements to the police. All described the attack as being sudden and short, and none were able to identify the suspects. However, the police received anonymous tips from the public to help in their investigation. Several residents came forward to provide police with names of suspects. A note was left on a police car windscreen, while another note was left in a telephone box and named a local gang.
Wow.
And you can Google... I did literally just Google it like 5 minutes before we start recording, see if there was a picture of the note. There's one, I don't know if it's like official, well, the ones I've seen, I don't know if they are official, I haven't like verified them, I've just seen them on Google Images. But there's one where I can't really read the writing, and then there's another one where it's like suspects' names and they're like numbered.
Wow. So like a real community piling together.
And I feel like they like leaving a note. It's not like you writing on the note. I mean, they might have, but like, oh, if you want any more information, contact. Like leaving a note is quite a somewhat anonymous way to provide information. Especially just leaving it on a police car windscreen. I feel like it implies that they're afraid of being known as the one who provided the information.
You don't want to, like the whole snitches get stitches sort of scenario. But no, you feel like that's more like in films, like a whole community sort of banding together to try and help, rectify someone else's mistakes. But that's mad though, so like leaving notes on cars. But I think you're right about like not leaving any details on there purely for fear, that someone could have seen it, say they were part of that gang, and then they themselves then become a target.
And then how bad is it that like a attack or murder or like racial attack happens and people suspect that they know who it is? Like, you should never suspect anyone of doing that.
You
should never know to suspect anyone.
Yeah. Like they've got people in mind already, which just says about who they know. Yeah.
The suspects named in the notes were Gary Dobson, Luke Knight, David Norris, and brothers Neil and Jamie Accourt. The suspects had previously committed other knife attacks and racial attacks in the area. 4 months before the murder of Stephen, Gary and Neil were involved in a racially motivated attack on a black teenager, Kevin London. Kevin was friends with Stephen Lawrence and had been attacked by the same gang that was at the time suspected of murdering Stephen. In November 1992, Kevin was outside his hospital with his girlfriend when he was approached by Gary and Neil. They verbally abused him and attempted to stab him. Kevin recognised Gary as they had attended the same school. So it's just absolute scumbags.
Yeah, targeting.
Like, I really, like, oh God, it really just winds me up, like any form of hate, as we've said before, but like any, like racism, homophobia, transphobia, like the list goes
it's
on.
insane, man. There is really, I don't understand the reason for it, and it's horrible in today's world as well. How that shit is more and more sort of reinforced as a well, acceptable
I feel like it's more.
thing to
Yeah,
do.
I was just gonna say yeah.
I swear there was a point a couple of years back now where some woman, it was in London, I think, some woman got like racially abused on the tube or some shit, something like that, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's popular now. We can do this now," because something had happened quite mainstream where someone was racist. So then, from the woodwork, these like racists that were
God.
like, "Well, they're doing it in mainstream stuff, so why
Yeah.
can't we do it?" So like it's a very hive mind mentality that like as soon as one goes, the others will follow.
And then just because someone does it, why does it make it seem acceptable for you to do it? Obviously, I know it's the response that they get, but in no society should we accept any form of hate for someone
not
just
at all.
living.
Yeah, it's just fucking backwards.
Apart from this incident, Neil had more run-ins with the police in the past. In 1994, a covert police officer recorded him going on a racist rant. This has like a racial slur, but obviously I'm not going to say it. Neil was captured saying, quote, "I think every should be chopped up and left with stumps." So, what a... I
Oh
don't know.
man, psychotic.
Weeks before Stephen's attack, Neil was implicated in the stabbing of teenager Stacey Bennyfield. In 2001, Neil was convicted for possessing an offensive weapon, a baton, which he claimed would only be used for personal protection. In 2002, Neil and Gary were jailed for shouting racial slurs at an off-duty police officer as they drove away from him. Another attack occurred in May 1992 when Jamie was accused of stabbing Darren Witham and Darren Giles in 1994. At this time, locals claimed that Jamie had a fascination with knives. Jamie was permanently excluded from school due to a racial attack. He confronted a black pupil at the top of the flight of stairs and kicked Sean down, knocking him unconscious.
Christ, man. What are we
And
doing?
in school? Where are you learning this one, please?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was going to try and think of like, oh, maybe it's this, but no. Well, where have you learned that from? Who has instilled that in you?
I mean, I'm not specifically like going to the parents, but because obviously
No, it could be.
anyone can be
any
influenced
outside
by
source.
anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very alarming that
It could be
you're in
anything.
your school years and have that much hatred for someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 days after Stephen's murder, the prime suspects had been identified but were not arrested until 2 weeks later. The police didn't inspect the suspects' houses for 4 days. Due to the lack of urgency shown by the police, the Lawrence family felt that not enough was done to arrest and convict Stephen's killers. Detective Superintendent Brian Whedon began leading the murder investigation from the third day and had also been leading the murder squad for 14 months. In a later inquiry into how the police handled Stephen's case, he explained that part of the reason for the delay in arrests was that he wasn't aware someone could be arrested for reasonable suspicion. I beg your pardon. What do you mean? I mean, I understand how it's suspicion, but also you have had like numerous different anonymous somewhat tips of people saying, check these people out. And
like it's not an unwarranted suspicion.
And you're
We've
saying
had
you can't
multiple
like...
people saying,
yeah.
maybe.
So how he got to be a detective superintendent, I'm not really sure. However, on May 7th, 1993, Gary Dobson, Neil and Jamie Accourt were arrested. David Norris turned himself into police 3 days later. On the 3rd of June, Luke Knight was arrested. Neil and Luke Knight were charged with murder on the 13th of May and 23rd of June. However, on the 29th of July, their charges were dropped as the Crown Prosecution Service claimed there was insufficient evidence. On April 16th, 1994, the CPS said that they didn't have enough evidence to charge the other suspects with murder. One of the main issues was regarding Dwayne picking Neil Accourt out of a police lineup. This was seen as not being strong enough evidence to be presented in court. Which, I somewhat get it, because you could just pick anyone from a lineup, but then you're picking someone out of a lineup.
Yeah.
Stephen's mum and dad were rightfully so outraged. They launched their own private prosecution in September 1994. This is when a prosecution is started by someone who is not acting on behalf of the police or other prosecuting authority. The average cost is around £8,500. And I don't know, I can't remember. I think that might be currently, like now, not in 1990.
Right, adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, nearly 10 grand.
Well, that would have still been a lot of money back then, yeah, but like that just shows, I mean, at that point then, when you're trying to get justice and things, like money isn't really an object.
Oh, no.
Like, you will find a way to get it.
And this is where we are white privileged, because I could never imagine like having anything like this happen full stop, but then having like an investigation be so failed and have to do things on your own. Yeah.
Literally, the justice system failed me, so I'm literally having to fund this and get justice for my family myself.
Yeah.
Awful.
An inquest was held surrounding the circumstances of Stephen's murder in February 1997. Even though the 5 suspects refused to answer any questions, the jury's deliberation decided that Stephen was killed in a, quote, completely unprovoked racist attack by 5 youths. I mean, hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, like, what else could it have been? Just from the bare description alone. That's exactly what it was.
In 2005, a law was changed. The common law rule that once an accused person had been acquitted couldn't be tried for a second time for the same crime, meaning if new evidence was found, the suspects that were found not guilty in the first trial would be able to be brought to trial again. In June 2006, Stephen's case and evidence was re-examined. It was found that a microscopic amount of Stephen's blood was found on Gary Dobson's jacket. As the stain was microscopic, it was concluded that the blood stain must have been transferred at the crime scene as it was so small and dried instantly. Fibres and hairs belonging to Stephen were also found on Gary and oh my God, there's so many names floating around, I'm getting more jumbled up.
Yeah.
Was also found on Gary and David Norris's clothes. On the 8th of September 2010, Gary Dobson and David Norris were arrested and charged with murder. However, reporting restrictions were placed onto media outlets from informing the public of their arrest. A trial was set for the 14th of November 2011. The new forensic evidence would be presented. On January 3rd, 2012, the jury deliberated for 8 hours and found Gary and David guilty of Stephen Lawrence's murder. Gary was sentenced to a minimum of 15 years and 2 months, and 14 years and 3 months for David. The judge stated that he had considered their ages at the time of the crime and acknowledged that their sentencing was, quote, lower than some might expect. As an adult being charged with this crime, the maximum sentence could have been 30 years.
So, 2011 was when they were found guilty?
He was found guilty for murdering Stephen in 2012, and he was murdered in 1993.
Christ.
And I'm not good at quick math, but that is
19 years. I think.
That's just like an absolute piss take and just absolutely insane.
Just under
and
2
heart-wrenching.
decades. Yeah. Because that family was then fighting for justice.
Yeah.
For that long, you know.
Yeah.
Just under 2 decades.
And it's like, well, if it was to be a white person, or like, yeah, if it was to be a white person, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, easily.
Within 6 months, this case would be like, evidence found,
it's
charged.
So backwards, it's proper archaic.
And this isn't even like that long ago.
No, it's not.
On the 30th of January 2012, Gary and David were appealing their sentences, however it failed on the first round. I know I've said this in like the last couple of episodes, but it really fucks me off when people appeal their sentences or like try and apply for parole early before they're eligible, because it just shows that like they don't think they're doing anything wrong, they're not bothered,
There's a complete
they don't give
lack
a fuck,
of disregard.
they just want to get out.
I'm bored of this now. I want to go, so I'm going to give it a shot.
When it's your actions that got you in there in the first place, you're fucking
but they don't
dumbo.
give a fuck, do they? They don't care.
Many inquiries and investigations were launched with a number of findings found. One was that the Met Police was institutionally racist, meaning racism is deemed normal and acceptable behaviour within organisations. There were 70 recommendations for the force to reform.
Christ.
Oh, God, like, this is as well where we're also privileged in the fact that we, we learn about this. We don't learn about it through experience in it.
Yeah. We're reading up on these things. It's not knowledge to us because we know it's happened to someone that, whatever. And
like when we've encountered police, it's not like I've never felt like intimidated or anything like that, or somewhat threatened or anything.
Yeah, like that you're being watched.
Yeah, or like suspected of doing something.
It's actually an insanely different experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that should be sort of welcomed and hopeful. Like, I'm here now, the police are here, I should be protected, I should be safe now.
Yeah.
But then it can be viewed for like as another threat. You've called them to protect you from a threat, and yet another potential one has just rocked up.
Oh, God.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's... God. I mean, I know, but Jesus, just the way you described that was really chilling. In March 2006, the Metropolitan Police announced it was paying £100,000 to Dwayne Brooks as compensation for how the police handled his involvement in the case. On the 22nd of April 2018, the 25th anniversary of his murder, the Prime Minister Theresa May announced an annual day of remembrance for Stephen Lawrence Memorial. Stephen would be buried in Jamaica as his family felt that he would not be at peace in the UK. In 2024, Stephen's body would be exhumed and photos of his grave began circulating social media. He was returned to the UK on the 1st of August 2024. After Sarah Everard's murder, the Metropolitan Police announced an independent review was going to be launched into police behaviour. The findings revealed problems of homophobia, racism and misogyny. It said that black Londoners were, quote, over-policed and underprotected. It took over 10 years for Stephen Lawrence's killers to be charged. If a white person had been murdered, it wouldn't have taken 10 years. There is still racism within the Metropolitan Police Force, as well as other police forces around the UK and other public services. Racism needs to be completely eradicated from public services as well as from people around the world.
I think it's really sad that they felt his body wouldn't be at peace in England.
Oh my God, yeah.
So they buried him out back in Jamaica. But the fact that they felt he wouldn't be
at peace
resting
in the UK,
in the UK is a really horrid thought.
Mm-hmm. And then also, like, for them going through the process of having him be exhumed and then people fucking taking pictures of his grave.
Yeah, like, oh God, I hate that
It's
so
just,
much.
People are just, some people, it's not every person, but some people are just disgusting.
Yeah, it's that fucking living behind your phone sort of thing, taking a photo of everything like that, like, oh, get a grip, go away, leave people to mourn
what
and
goes
shit.
through your head?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like sensationalising it, like...
It is, no, absolutely.
Oh, wow, look at this, when
Look
really
where I
that's
am.
someone who died in a racial attack.
Take yourself out for a minute, look at what's actually in front of you, and realise that there's a lot more weight to what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Only 2 of his attackers, 2 out of 5, were were convicted, charged and sentenced.
So the other 3 are just...
The other 3 still haven't been sentenced for killing someone in a racial attack.
Who knows if they ever will be? You know?
I would never want to say never, but I do highly doubt it now.
Yeah. I mean, look how long it took them to get to.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah.
I mean, I hope to God, you know, that they will get caught and, you know, imprisoned, but looking at what we've just spoke about and how the system works and how we spoke about the system before in the last couple of episodes, like, is it likely? So
that's the case of the murder of Stephen Lawrence. I thought that one was going to be like a bit of a longer one because I didn't know I was going to do this one because like 10 minutes before I was looking through the ones that I've got because we're working our way down now with the ones that I did like 3 months ago. And then I just quickly read through this and then I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, I thought this was going to be long because it's quite like long, but it's like short paragraphs.
So if you liked that little bit of music there, we're trying something different now. Literally, in the last 30 seconds, I just went, maybe we should do this.
I know, we're making this up as we go along.
I quite like it. Very, very fluid. So we're trying to now sort of add segments to it, so it's not all sort of like bang, 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 bang. So now we've realised that after each episode, now we sort of do want to end it on a lighter note, not just on the heavier cases, because to be honest,
They were all.
Yeah. And if it
Yeah.
was weird to then be like, this case deserves this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to end each episode now on a lighter note. So this is our light section now.
And it gives you something happy to go away with and to somewhat, I don't want to say unwind.
To
somewhat
kick your week off, because, you know, if you listen to this when it drops, you know, have a good day. So,
Yeah.
Lois, what's made you smile this week?
I did think about something earlier when I was in work, and it's completely left my mind.
That's cool. So nothing then.
So what's yours?
Well, I've got two. I've got one that's like genuine, oh, that's a good reason to smile, and one that's just sort of lame. The one that's a good reason is that I'm still learning my job, and recently I had a sort of talk with one of my teachers, and they gave me some really positive feedback because I wasn't feeling too good about it. I thought I wasn't really understanding what I was doing, but they said that I should be really proud of myself, so that made me have a good smile, and then I had a little celebratory dessert takeaway.
Yeah. Oh, what takeaway did you have?
I don't know what it was called, but it was me and my girlfriend. She got an after 8 ice cream. I thought it was minging. I don't like it. And then she got herself as well a peanut M&M thick shake with raspberry sauce.
Oh, I'd like that, but without the raspberry sauce.
Quite sweet. It's now in the freezer as an ice cream because she didn't have any of it.
Oh.
I had a Kinder cookie dough.
Oh, of course you had Kinder.
Yeah, lovely. With a Reese's peanut butter thick shake. And
I love peanut butter.
Oh, it was divine. It was so nice. So that was one bit that made me smile. And the thing that was quite lame is just the current Spider-Man show that's airing on Disney. Oh my god.
I haven't watched, I ain't got time.
No, that's absolutely fine. Not that I need to watch it. It's honestly, I was like, yeah, sure, it'll be a bit of fun. I'm loving it. I can't wait for the next episode. Each one finishes, I'm like, oh.
Oh, is it really actually that good?
I love it. Genuinely.
Is it for kids?
I don't understand.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Sarah.
Yeah, is it for kids?
No, it's for everybody. The recent episode, there was an attack in a recent episode. It was really brutal.
How long are they on?
25 minutes.
I could put one on before I go to sleep, but I know
You've
we
got
like
too
to
much on.
reserve that time for Mrs. Brown's Boys. But I haven't been able to watch that in months because I've been so fucking tired.
No, you've got to focus on your list right now. I mean, Spider-Man finishes next week anyway, so wait till it's done.
Okay, thank God.
But genuinely, it's an absolute blast. I'm loving it.
I might. What? I mean, I say that, but I just don't.
You
do
won't.
I?
You won't.
No,
I don't believe
just
you.
sounds cool though. I do want to watch the What If zombie one.
Yeah, that's out in October though.
I do think. What do you mean? I thought it was already out.
No, the one episode. Yeah, but then the series is out next year. Well, October this year.
Oh. Well, Captain America comes out tomorrow, and I think I'm going on my own. So I love that for me.
I thought your boyfriend was going with you.
No.
Listen, that's the thing, right? While we're doing this, going to the cinema on your own is not a scary experience. Well, it can be, but once you do it a few times, it's... Oh, I bloody love it.
Daniel, to be alone out here in these streets is scary biz.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And also
mean-
the cinema, well, one of like the cinemas by me where it's like £5 tickets, which I mean I'm all up for. It's not really in the best of areas, so I'm a bit nervous.
No, that's valid. But just as from like an anxiety point of view, I love it. I love because people are like, oh, how do you go cinema on your own? You're not embarrassed? Absolutely not. For one, I'm there and I'm not talking to anyone anyway. You know, you're not
yeah.
there to like have a social. You're there to sit down, shut the fuck up, put your phone off, and just watch. You know.
But then you're seeing it on Saturday.
Yes.
So I feel like I've got to go and see it before you, so I might have to go tomorrow.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'm watching that, and then Bridget Jones's new one. What's it called? Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy.
Oh, actually, I've got something that made me smile.
Go on.
I watched it on
Oh,
Sunday, though.
Yeah.
Enchanted, the Disney film. Oh, my God, I did have a smile on my face quite a lot of the time.
Amy Adams, very fun.
Oh, my God, she literally plays Giselle so well.
Giselle.
Oh my god, I
How
love.
do I know?
Oh my god, I love that song.
What a
And when she
banger.
goes, ah, 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 and then like all the rats come in.
I might put it on my. I've made a list on Letterboxd, a rewatch list. Maybe I'll whack it on there. That'd be a bit of
Oh
fun.
my god, yeah, you have to watch it. It's so good.
I'll do it now.
My recent activity is Nickelback, Enchanted, Wallace and Gromit, and Robert the Doll. Robert the Doll is fucking shit.
Oh,
Shit.
me and my mate, we started the Robert films the other day. We watched 3 of them back to back, and they are just honestly,
I genuinely did not know there was 5, and when you told me, I
they're
near enough collapsed.
addictive. They're like awful, but so fun because they're like proper shit though. Proper shit.
So shit.
Yeah.
We need to watch. In my review, I put that they're on the same level as Apartment 1303, and we need to watch that together. I don't know what it's on though, but we need to watch that together because that is
can do that.
fucking dog shit.
I'm down for that.
Don't know what it's on there, but
in the summary of this week, what made us smile? You watched Enchanted and had a laugh, and I got some good feedback at work and liked Spider-Man.
yeah,
And that's it for this week.
my eyes are stuck together. Yeah, that's it for this week.
We're done now.
guys.
Bye.
Episode 9 next, and then episode 10, I'm going to do a serial killer.
So what are we on now? 8?
This is number 8.
This is number 8. Oh, and then 10,
But-
the big one.
Episode 10, I feel like it
Oh,
may
wait,
be
hang
a
on.
two-parter.
Didn't we say in the last episode that this episode you were going to discuss why it's called Choosing the Bear?
Yeah, but I was going to write stuff down and I forgot to do it, so we'll do it next episode.
There you go. There's your teaser next week then. We're going to wait till next week now to bring it back.
And I promise it will be next week.
If not, it'll be in episode 10.
If not, just come back and listen to all our play
If not, try and work it
episodes.
out. You know, just try and work it out yourself.
Also,
It's
if you're
very
still
obvious.
here, then thanks. But
Yeah, we're actually just waffling at this point.
please follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're just on Instagram, we're at Choosing the Bear, and TikTok, we're at Choosing the Bear Pod.
Yeah, please, you know.
Yeah, please, because we have 0.
It'd be ideal if someone would that isn't our friends and family.
I know I'm a bit. Well, no, on TikTok, I've got quite a few like other people, but Instagram, we're at a big fat 0.
Big whopping 0.
Maybe people are scared to follow us because I don't want to be the first. Because when I haven't got
That's
Instagram.
just not a thing.
What do you mean?
You're scared to follow it because you don't want to be the first, but no one else gives a shit.
Don't say that.
Well, then, no, in terms of like being the
Daniel,
first person to follow.
I'm gonna play this to you when we hit like 1,000 followers.
No,
And say,
I don't mean.
"Look,
I don't
all
mean
these
that.
people give a shit.
Right? If you don't let me finish, I don't mean give a shit about the podcast. I mean give a shit about being the first one to follow.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Oh,
that
God, I
whole
went
thing that
completely
you
left field.
freaked out on then was for no reason whatsoever. Completely jumped the gun and didn't hear me out.
I apologise.
But yeah. So come back next week for episode 9. I don't know what it's going to be. Neither do you. Lois probably
No,
doesn't
it's
either.
just
Actually,
somewhat of a. Yeah, I just pick 5 minutes before.
she
we
just
go.
peeks 5 minutes before
go
we
on
go.
air.
We go
We go on air.
live. We're live right now on air. Come listen. Right, let's wrap it up, man. I'm just talking out my arse. Let's go.
Ta-ta,
This
bye.
has been episode 8 of Choosing the Bear. I've been Daniel. She's been Lois. See you next week.
Bye.